And I wake up and I'm about to leave for work and there's blood stains all over our comforter.
The dog got
The dog got her first.
Okay. Let's go so I can...
No, don't rush me now. You had this whole pre-show taking 8 hours to start the show, so you don't get to put a time on this.
Wait, so have we actually started?
Yeah, we're starting.
Oh, no way.
Episode 5. Welcome. This is 5, right?
I don't know.
Yes, it is. It's
Episode 5. Holy crap.
I know
It
for a
feels like
fact.
we've been going for a long time and we haven't. Welcome to another episode of Making Sense of Adulting. It is your boy, Radio Rod Rodney Smith, back again with my weird friends, Courtney, who finally put her shoes on, thank God. And,
Well, my toes were banned because they would get sold on the internet.
Oh, my Lord. And Junie.
I'm free game, baby.
What does that mean?
I don't got my shoes on. I want to be comfy.
As long
Oh my
as
God, you
socks
have
on, though. Where are you going with that?
I can't look at them.
So you can sit here and twindle with your toes on camera.
Yeah, your toes look nasty.
Yeah, and then he can't have socks on because they're gross.
Y'all didn't know about my phobia of
No, we
socks?
know. It was in episode season 1, right?
But it's just a personal thing.
It's not you.
Yeah, but your socks are fucking dirty ass, boy. Look at those socks. When did you buy them? 5th grade?
So you don't just eat the meat.
You just be wearing that shit.
All
That's
right,
barbaric.
all
We haven't
right,
done that in a
all right.
while. We haven't done that in a while. But welcome to another episode of Making Sense of Adulting. A lot has happened. We just came off of the girls episode.
Yep.
That
was fun.
You had fun.
I did have fun.
We got a lot of good reactions off of that. Actually, when I went to work, everybody was raging about it from the girl and the guy standpoint. So I think that was really fun. And you guys actually killed it. When I listened back, you guys really killed it.
Oh, thank you.
It was fun. Kinsey talked a lot.
She's
Okay.
got a lot to say.
So as my host, next time I need you to muzzle her. Thank you. You tell your girlfriend to talk more because she has a lot to say because she's funny behind the scenes.
Yeah, but she's more a private person.
Yeah, she is.
She don't want to get on the nitty gritty. I was the same way when I started podcasting. So
Wait, so it's actually, it feels weird. I was thinking about this. I was like, it feels like we haven't done this in like 2 months, but it's because we have done it, but we haven't done it together in like 3 or 4 weeks.
The last one was the awkward episode, and that was
Before the
middle.
guys.
no, it wasn't. The
After
guys
the
was
guys.
second, and then we did the awkward.
Then we did the girls.
And then we did the girls.
Okay,
but
so it's
we
been
didn't
like
do it
3
last week
weeks.
because it was Thanksgiving. So it's been like 3
about
weeks.
3
Yeah.
weeks.
Yeah, we've been taking a lot of holiday breaks. So sorry, but not sorry. We have lives.
We have
now.
families and friends and food to eat.
It's part of adulting, I think.
Food to eat.
Nobody's listening to podcasts over holidays anyway, so
Actually, our numbers have been really, really good. We're actually we're 3,000 streams away from 10,000.
Wow.
Yes, we're close.
That's great.
So it'd be really cool if we can finish the year at 10,000. That'd be pretty dope.
yeah.
That'd be really, really dope if we can finish the year because that's what we've only been podcasting for a year.
Yeah.
We'd hit 10,000 in a year. That's insane. So we should definitely try to run up these numbers. But Junie, go ahead and tell your story. Junie has a story for everyone
Oh my
before we get
gosh.
into the topic.
This
because
is so embarrassing. This is so embarrassing.
Wait, can I have some background?
Yeah, no.
What-
He's
I'm
gonna
gonna tell you.
explain.
I'm gonna tell
He's
you
gonna
the story.
explain.
I'm
Did
gonna
this
tell you the
just
story.
happen to you?
Oh, it
Yeah.
did.
So Monday, I was flying back from Pittsburgh.
It's a Sagittarius thing. by the way.
And so we flew from Pittsburgh to New York, and our flight got delayed in Pittsburgh, and we were like waiting for like an hour, and then we get to New York, and our flight gets delayed like 6 more hours. So we're stuck in New York for 6 hours, and we finally fly back. We land here in Nashville at 12:40. Like the plane touches the ground at 12:40, so it's late. By the time we get in the door, it's like 1:30, and we don't go to bed till like 2. So we're tired.
I wonder why.
We're exhausted. We wake up. We wait like right before we go to bed. We see these stains.
Explain that I
on the
dog
couch.
sitted. You didn't tell them that I was dog
Oh
sitting
yeah,
for
yeah,
Shayna.
yeah. So my sister dog sat most of the weekend, and then Rodney capped it off by staying at the apartment on Sunday. And so we came back and saw like
He's still skipping steps. So hold on.
How am I skipping steps?
Hold on.
So
there was a
what-
night where I was drinking wine. All right. At Shayna's place because I couldn't leave the dog and my friends were going out, but I was going to go out. So I was drinking wine and I sent it to him and I was like, oh, me and Mia are having Mia's the dog. We're having like a wine date at night. Now continue.
Okay, so wine was left like in the glass. You could tell it was wine, and it was still sitting out. And I see all these red stains on the couch, and I'm like,
just wait.
Wait, what
And I'm
color is
like-
the couch?
huh?
It's cream.
It's like a cream color, and it's fabric. So we're like, fuck, Rodney, you idiot. So
wait.
I text Rodney. I'm not mad because like we can get it out. It's not a big deal.
Just
But
wait.
like I'm like,
Oh,
dude,
you
really?
were probably pissed.
I was like, you couldn't.
He was pissed. He was pissed.
Yeah, through text message. Okay, all right, whatever. Anyway, yeah, don't smirk. And so I was like, dude, like you could have just told me, and like I don't care to clean it up, but like, could you not have just told me? He's like, bro, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, those were already there, and I was like, my sister was there before us, and they weren't there when we left. I was like, my sister doesn't drink, like she doesn't drink, so I knew it wasn't her, and. The next morning, like I think he's just full of shit and like he's bullshitting with me. And I wake up and I'm about to leave for work and there's blood stains all over our comforter.
The dog got
The dog got her first, you know what, and it was everywhere. And we didn't know.
And the motherfucker thought it was me, and I didn't know
blamed Rodney.
where these stains were coming from.
So the next morning.
Ew, the dog got her period.
Yeah.
I was wondering. Even I looked at it, and I was like, "Where are these stains coming from?" I was like, "Did I really?" I'm thinking back to like, did I spill for real, or was it like on my pants? I'm checking my clothes. I'm like, I don't know where this is from, so I'm just gonna tell him that it was just there.
Did the dog have the period when you were there, Rodney?
Yes, there was like blood on the floor, but I thought it was my wine.
He didn't know what it was.
I thought it was like maybe she got into the trash can because that's where the bottle was, and it was just on her paw. So I was like, okay, well, look.
So it was all over the apartment.
Yeah, so it was all over the
floor.
couch, on the floor, like on like the end of our bed where she sleeps. It was gross. And I
so
texted
gross.
Rodney the next day. I was like, bro, I'm sorry, I was wrong.
To like 4 messages,
I was
and I was like,
tired.
huh.
I was tired.
huh.
This is why I don't know about you guys, but I will never buy a girl dog. I won't do it.
Courtney don't like bitches.
I don't like. You're right. I don't like bitches. I'd rather have dicks and balls in my house. Just saying.
That'll make a great video. Clickbait.
Oh my
but yeah,
gosh.
he was pissed. I knew he was pissed. I know Junie. He was mad behind the scenes, and I knew him and Shayna were gonna like slander me. They were probably like, "This fucking idiot,
fucking Rodney.
blah
He
blah
spilled
blah."
and he won't own up to it, and then it was the damn dog getting her heat.
Her dog.
That bitch.
So Shayna, I want an apology from you two because I know you were talking shit. I want it from both of you at the same time, and I want you to sing it at a chorus in a C note. Thank you. But now that that's done, let's get into today's topic. Age is just a number, and surprisingly, this is our number one most wanted to hear topic.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know what it is, and I don't know if it's because a lot of people are in the midst of getting older, and younger girls are starting to look like older girls, and everybody's getting confused on ages. But
That's
everybody has
fact.
been wanting us to talk about this. And once
Wait, are we talking about how people that are 15 look like they're 22?
I mean, it's all of it. Let's. You want to start there? Because
Because it's scary. Because my
I'm
sister's
confused.
13.
I'm confused with that too. Because there's like all of a sudden, I look at like the sports and all this other crap, right? You have all these super young athletes that are built like 40, 30-year-old fucking superheroes. And I'm confused because like at our age, none of those people were doing anything crazy like that. And now
Maybe
all of a
not where you
sudden,
were
Well, maybe
from.
they were, and we just don't remember
what?
it. I don't know.
even
No.
like Texas basketball, like sports in Texas was big, right?
Yeah.
There was not motherfuckers in 7th grade throwing down windmills. Now you have 6th graders
I
dunking.
wasn't seeing that.
Like you have 6th graders dunking now with ease. And I'm just confused on where these genetics are magically starting to happen from.
We're in a simulation.
Superhumans.
It's crazy.
Well, you got to think, like, over time, our parents, when they were hooping in the gym, they weren't doing none of the stuff that we were doing.
It's a
It's just a new generation. They're just getting more and more athletic.
Natural selection.
Yeah,
Scary.
and you got to think,
So
like,
as we continue on, the breed gets stronger and stronger.
I'm gonna paraphrase LeVar Ball, but like LeVar Ball chose his wife so that he could have basketball children. Like he picked a wife so that he knew that his kids were gonna turn out to be a certain height and figure. You know what I mean? And they did. And now
I think
all of them are.
that's
Wait,
also my
through a
luck.
computer?
Oh my.
What do you mean genetic? Like, you can do that nowadays. Did you know that? You can pay a lot of money to actually customize your kid.
No, I do know that.
You can.
Can you really?
Yeah, their eye color, everything, all their genetics. You can like morph into what you want.
I think that's
Based off
effed
money.
up, honestly.
No, it
That's
is, man.
kinda cool.
It's
You think it's cool?
it's
You could just pick your
ungodly.
child?
You think God would want you to do that?
you
Well,
know
Well, no. Well,
God.
WWJD.
God would not want you to do that.
That's kind of cool though. The fact that
But
somebody
hey,
can just buy their
Jesus,
child.
if you could give my children blue eyes, I would love it.
That's what I said. I'm like, wait, that's kind of cool. If you
But
think
eventually,
about it.
that's what the world's going to be. Every single person's going to look the same and be built the same.
That's what you
Dun,
have to
dun,
find
dun.
the different. We'll talk about how like girls and boys are. How do you tell somebody's age?
I have no idea.
You know what the age?
You look at their
confusion is?
hands. Your hands age.
No, baby,
Yeah.
they don't because
For
I got
real?
eczema.
Your face
I was about
doesn't.
to say because I got eczema and
Well,
my
if you
shit
use
looks about
lotion-
70.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
The one thing on your body that
Your hands
even
took a blast
though
from the past.
I'm about to ruin y'all. Girls can get Botox in their hands. People do it. But for women, if you look at their hands, it's the best like age detector.
Your hands.
Yeah. But I guess for like younger girls, they all look like they're like freaking 25 now. I don't know how you tell.
I think it's like the trends like that they pick up on, and like the makeup and all other stuff is starting to like. They have coaches who are older that are like making them look like of age, and it's scary.
Yeah.
And I think it's more so in females than it is guys, because if a guy's young, you can tell if a kid looks young.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
for
I mean,
a girl-
girls grow at a faster rate at a certain point than men. That's
It
why
ain't
they.
even about the growing. It's just these girls are starting to look like they're of age.
Well, do you not think that like our society is pushing for women, and I feel like sexualizing women has become more and more of a frequent thing. I mean, you're seeing younger and younger girls wear more and more revealing things, and even Netflix like had that huge controversy about having they had this like special called Cuties, and it was a bunch of 11-year-olds in like bralettes and like tight booty shorts riding up their butt, and that was on Netflix. You know,
Wait,
like
what?
Isn't that insane? And it got all this criticism, and it was all over the news. And they ended up having to cut it because of like how it was sexualizing little girls. And if you don't think that like predators look at that and use that, like it was horrible. It's like, why?
Whoa.
It's just like a societal thing, and it's people watch this, and more and more young women are looking at what their idols are wearing, and when you're propagating all this stuff to young children, it's reflecting on the society, and it has a ripple down effect, and that's why this is happening.
Oh my goodness gracious!
So when you had the number one song in the nation called WAP, well, these
No, I also
little middle
think-
school girls are like, what's that?
Exactly,
No,
hey, that's true.
But like I'm thinking back to the days when I was in elementary school and middle school, and like my idols were not a Kardashian.
Yeah, they were like Hannah Montana and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Selena Gomez.
And and they weren't fake.
Yeah.
They weren't as I mean, surely now they probably have changed a little bit, but like the standard of beauty has changed a lot since
yeah.
we were younger.
Yeah.
And it's scary
I
because
think-
now the idols are completely plastic almost. Like
Yeah.
they're real life Barbie dolls. And so they are doing anything and everything to look like that, which
Yeah.
makes them age.
But do you not think that
Like,
your
when I was in
parents
middle school-
or your grandparents would say the same thing about us though? Like,
Yes,
do you
for
not think
sure.
like we took it to another level and we got a little bit more?
Yeah, because
I don't know how
I
to
got
say- I
my
don't know how
hair
to say it
dyed.
the right way. You
No,
know
this
what
is true because when I was in 6th grade, I pushed my mother so hard to let me get my hair dyed. And she did. And she was like, I've never heard of a 6th grader getting their hair dyed. And now I swear it's like getting younger and younger. Like my sister, she's 13 now, but when she was in like the 3rd grade, she wanted to get fake nails.
It's the society of the trends.
Yeah.
The
it's
trends
weird.
are really weighing a big impact on how these
crazy.
people
on
starting to look.
looks for sure.
Crazy.
But poor guys, you guys can't hide how old you are.
And that's okay because baby black don't crack. I'll be 40 forever.
Did you say you're gonna be 40
I'm
forever?
gonna be 40 forever, forever, and ever. But I really want to touch on the relationship portion of this. It's the biggest debate.
Yeah.
Most older women like to assume that the younger men are not of maturity based on their age. I just had this conversation at the bar, literally.
Wait, so you're
Yesterday.
saying like a older woman?
I
wouldn't
more
date-
so see it females saying it, older women saying that younger men are not mature enough to be with them if they're not of age or older.
What do you mean by of age 18?
I think
Like no. Like most older women is in like, let's see, 20, say the 27 plus area.
but I
Think
can
that-
understand that.
I can too.
Genuinely.
I can't.
Why is that? Are
I
you
don't
just
think-
different,
I
Robin?
can
I don't think
because
of-
I have dated the different ages.
Oh. Care to share?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I've dated younger.
Really? How younger? How much younger?
Yeah, how much younger are we talking? Because right now you think 23 to 27 is old. I mean, 24 to 27 is a big difference.
I've dated younger, which was like 2 years. That's younger.
No,
Yes, it is.
that's not that bad.
Okay, I've dated on age, and I've dated older.
How much older?
3 years. I'm just saying in terms of like a little bit of a spectrum, and it's the age gap is quite enough to see maturity differences. So a 27-year-old woman not wanting to date down makes sense to me because the best relationship I've ever been in is with the 27-year-old because he's mature. He's the most mature. He knows like he's got it together.
I mean, I wouldn't say that in all
That's
instances
a-
because
see, I don't
I mean, I'd say my girlfriend now, her ex-boyfriend was like 10 years older than her, and the maturity level wasn't the same. But so it doesn't work in all instances. But
Shots.
but let me paraphrase. But here's why I think for women it's different, and I'm gonna agree with you on this, Courtney. I think in a lot of relationship dynamics, I think women mature faster than men, and I think that women go after older men because they're seeking somebody that's kind of closer to their maturity level,
Yep.
and somebody that they feel like they can relate to more. And I feel like as a man, if you are more immature than your woman, or if there's that significant gap, you're already younger and your maturity level's probably a couple years younger than that. I feel like that causes like a disruption in the relationship. I feel like it kind of all depends on where that individual is. Is that the case for all cases? Absolutely not, because there's always going to be outliers. But I would say
There's always fuckers.
I would say majority of the time that's kind of the spectrum there. Is women mature faster, and depending on where that person is in their maturity level, you have to find somebody like parallel with you.
Okay, so what solidifies maturity?
How you act in certain situations.
Okay, so if
100%.
you act in certain situations, meaning
I'll put it to you this way. I'll put it to you this way. The way if my girl were to come at me a couple years ago, I would be super defensive. I would probably raise my voice and I would probably try and argue my point. Nowadays, I try and find peace and just let it go and like figure out a
communicate.
resolution.
But you
and
haven't
keep
done that
a
since the
lower
get-go.
temper
You
and
worked on
lower,
it.
huh?
You worked on that.
I know, and that's called maturity.
Yeah, you grow and mature.
That's called growing. That's called learning. That's called like getting older and handling your issues and your problems in a more mature and effective way.
Reed and I still have not fought.
That's crazy.
We disagree on things and we talk about it, but we haven't actually fought. And I know you guys, this was probably like 6 months ago, said, or even like 9, because we've been dating for over a year now. Reed and I have.
I did say this.
You said, "Oh, you love him. Well, you haven't fought." We haven't fought. Like, we haven't had a single reason to butt heads really bad.
Y'all don't seem, but y'all don't come from that background.
What do you mean?
Like Reed seems like a very calm guy. And
Yeah.
Even if
What do you want to chime in about?
Question: Is it okay not to fight?
Yes.
That's what I think.
Because some
I
people
mean-
think like you need to fight.
Right. They
I said
told
that.
me that. They
I
told
said-
me
I
that
did
to
say that.
love somebody, I have to fight with them.
Is it okay or not?
I think it's totally normal. to
I
not
just
fight.
think it's an important asset as far as the communication standpoint. I just think it kind of helps with the communication. If you able to talk through fights, that shows somebody's maturity. Like you just said being able to communicate shows maturity. So I feel like if you're able to get into an argument and talk through it, then that shows maturity and
Right.
that's important.
It's not like it's never been like a toxic blow up fight though. You
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
I've had that in the past every single relationship.
Well, okay.
Well, yeah, I don't
so
think-
I guess that's a different conversation.
Yeah.
Constituting what's a fight or not. I mean, obviously, like you're gonna get in little spats and like
Yeah.
bickerments and stuff like that, and you're gonna have disagreements. But like, it's still like, it's just like you said, that stuff is just different for everybody. Like
Yeah.
I know I've heard of people who are married for 20 plus years and say they've never had like a really big fight or anything. You know, it's just different for other people, and some people are just more laid back than others and chill. And if that's your relationship, then good for you. Like it's different for everybody. But for me, like I just know my personality, and I know that sometimes like
You get heated.
sometimes I won't let it go.
You get
And
heated, Junie.
When have you ever seen me get heated?
I don't know. You just telling me that story about that guy trying to knock down that door.
Oh, I was heated. But I mean, I think that should be any man. If somebody's trying to break down your door,
You also
like you
just
need to
yelled at the
you need
guy-
to come out and be like, "What's up?"
You
Like,
just yelled at the guy who hit your car too.
huh?
You just yelled at the guy that hit your car too.
What do you mean?
The guy when you got hit.
Which time?
Your second one.
I didn't yell at him.
Which one was the first one? I don't remember, man. You've had like 7,000 of them. I can't remember which one you said that
No,
you
it
went
was
off on.
it was
him.
this last one I was going off on him.
Yeah, there you go.
I was because he was an idiot.
That's what I'm saying. But you
I
have
was literally
get heated.
stationary and they hit me, bro. Like these cars, they just want the smoke.
But
I
it's
don't
okay
know
to
why.
get heated.
They just want the smoke.
You don't have to not fight. But I think my issue with the whole maturity thing, circling back to that, I think it's when people base it off of like you're younger already, it's not gonna work. I think that's what I've seen more. Not saying
Instead of trying it.
yeah, like I like at the bar the other day. Like she'll probably watch this episode. Like at the bar the other day, she was like, I think she's 26, 28, 28, well, somewhere around there, and she was like, I'm not gonna date a younger guy under 28. And I said, for why? And I was like, so somebody could come along that's really, really good for you. And she was like, I wouldn't do it because he's younger. And I said, well, if maturity is such an important thing and they show that their maturity is there, like their career is going well, their priorities are there, like they know how to respect a woman, like what is it about just the age that bothers you so much about getting into a relationship with that person? And she was just like, no answer. And I've seen that in a lot of people.
Well, that's just a personal preference then.
But that's
Yeah.
also that's numerous amount of people that I've talked to about this because I knew this topic was going to come up eventually. So I always asked older women, what is it about you not wanting to date a younger person, and why is that?
It's probably based on a past experience of somebody that was younger than them or somebody of their age. I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah, I like and like I said, it is probably for the most part. She's probably right. Like she probably shouldn't go after that kind of man.
But
But I'm just saying,
honestly-
like, if somebody rolls up into your life and it's a good fit, like you shouldn't let that be like an end all be all.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It should never be an end all be all. It's a per case basis, but like you can still be cautionary
It's not
based
like-
off of what is most likely going to come out of it.
Yeah.
Here's
But you
my
still
thoughts.
should give it a chance.
So, like in my head, after you said that, I actually do have a bias. I don't want to date anybody younger than
Yeah,
me.
see?
I don't.
Yeah.
But I'm also not 28 yet, so I don't know how I'm going to be when I'm 28. But right now, I definitely don't. But also, I'm not looking for anyone. But if I was, I wouldn't go up to say, how old are you?
Yeah.
Like if it worked, like well, I'm thinking back to when I started talking to Reed. I had no idea how old he was,
That's how it was with me.
right?
Yeah.
So it's like, that doesn't really truly matter. But in the back of my head, I have this bias of like, I wouldn't want to date someone younger, but if it did work out, then I would get over it.
Yeah.
You know?
I've seen some people be like, I've had more experience than you have, therefore you're not where you are gonna be. And I never understood that. Like they're 28 and if I was 24, it's like I've been here around longer. You're
Like they're in a
partying.
different part of life than
No,
you.
I mean like even just the term experience as a whole. Like if they've lived more life. So they feel like where they are at 28 is from all the fuck ups or like, regrets or whatever it is before that. And you don't reach that point until you're of that age. And that is a statement that didn't make sense to me because just because I was 24 to whoever's 31 doesn't mean that I haven't been there maturely.
right. I think that's stupid because it makes me think of high school.
Yeah.
When you're a senior, you look at the freshmen, you're like, oh, they're so young. Like,
Yeah.
they're stupid. I think as you get to be an adult, the playing field levels. Like that is, I think
Yeah.
the age difference and comparison is stupid when you're an adult.
Yeah.
Who cares if you're 31 and I'm 24? We can hang out.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. So that's weird. But also kind of segueing into a different aspect of this. When you said like experience, it made me think of jobs, because like a lot of people get turned away from jobs because they are younger or they don't have experience, which isn't true. You know, like well,
I mean, it's hard because I want to be on your team with that statement, but then when I circle back to my industry, it's like, okay, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And it kind of,
Mine
and it
does too.
sucks. And it sucks.
It sucks.
Because to get that experience, you need to get the shot.
Right.
And how do you get the shot if you don't have the experience?
Right.
So I want to be on your team with that, and I really hate that.
It's
that
really
norm.
hard because like some people will say like, oh, this is your entryway, but you need 3 years of experience. And it's like,
Yeah.
how the F am I going to get an entry level job if
Exactly.
I need 3 years of experience?
I think I can give you entry level, yes, but
I'm not looking for a
in
new
Rodney
job.
in Rodney and I's industry. From my position is kind of like it's a get you in the door. You got a salary. You're going to get benefits. You know, you're going to be really involved. And I think more or less this is like an effort position. It's like, hey, show us how valuable
hard
you
you
are.
want it,
Like,
yeah.
show us, what you're willing to do here. Put forth a good effort. Be a team player. And then, we're going to start investing in you because you've invested in us. And I think that it's more or less you find a way to get into a door of where you want to be, and you show them that you want to be there, and then that in sense they're going to invest in you and give you opportunities.
Yeah, that's
and
how
I
my
think
job works,
I
too.
think you'll respect it. Not really respect it, but appreciate it more when you've earned it.
Yeah.
And I've been starting to kind of pick up on that because even the youngest guy at our sports station that has been on, he's in his 30s. He's been there for 10 years and he hasn't been on the radio but for a couple of years. Like, he worked there for 5 or 6 years to get on the radio. Like, that's what he did. So
Yeah, you have to do
hey,
that, huh?
get in there, earn your stripes, do your job and keep working at it. You got a promotion, like, you're already moving up. So more or less, I think when it comes to the workplace and age, you really need to embrace that grind, and show your employer and make sure that you're in a position that you want to be in to do this. Of course, you don't want to waste energy on a place that you don't value, but definitely like earn your stripes and show them you want to be there. And I think those opportunities will come.
I think it has its pros and cons. Like we were saying, the not having the experience and how do we get the experience is definitely sucks. But I think it also makes you work 8 times harder because you want to beat the people that have been there for a while, and it amps the competition. It's funny because you remember Jordan, the tall one, the girl.
Mm-hmm.
So she literally came to Cheesecake yesterday.
Is this a person at your old radio?
Yes, but she was just a good friend of ours, and she used to work with me at Cumulus. She came into Cheesecake and she was telling me about how she's in like this esthetician job, and she's been there for like a while, right? And this new girl just got hired and already skipped steps and is right where she is, and she's like, "What the fuck? Like, how did that happen?"
Yeah.
And it could be either the girl grinded her ass off, or it could be like she got the easy way in. I don't know. And I know Jordan's gonna watch this, so I don't know the story. But on both ends, where we're at 24 and our work ethic, if we bust through somebody's we outshine somebody and we get the shot, I'm with it. Right? It puts more pressure on me I want to outbeat them. And I feel like that makes you work 8 times harder. And I like the age gaps in the job field, but only right now. Like till 28, 29. Right now, when you're young and doing shit, and people are like, "What the hell? How the fuck are you doing all that at your age?" I love that. That makes
Yeah.
me want to work
Harder.
8 times harder.
Yeah.
It's a good feeling.
I agree.
And our industry is built off that. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of industries that are like that. I mean, corporate jobs as well. I mean, I feel like you guys might wait a lot longer than we do. I don't know how promotions work with y'all stuff, but I know for radio, you got to do some fucking time to get where you want to be. Especially because like the bigger like on-air positions, you got to wait. You got to wait.
You gotta wait till they essentially die
Yeah.
off.
You gotta wait. But you also got these side projects. About it's going back to what you said about how hard you work. It's like, to get the experience. I'm kind of like going back and forth on my stance because we talked about experience, but also to get that experience, you got to go find that experience.
Yeah.
You know, so like as an on-air,
It's not gonna come to you.
exactly,
Yeah.
and that's what I learned about Nashville. I talk about this all the time. This is what Nashville taught me, that I got to go grind to be relevant. It's it. Nothing's gonna get handed to you in Nashville. Everybody's doing 8 times better than you because they've either super talented. You're surrounded by a lot of competition.
Yeah.
Right, and it's gonna get you down. But you got to go find relevancy. So if I'm not doing on air, I'm gonna go start a podcast. I'm gonna go start a YouTube show. I'm gonna go start all this to build my resume up, because that's what you gotta go find your experience. And that's why I tell people all the time when they ask like, how do you do what you do? You gotta go find relevancy. And that's what's gonna help you get ahead, is when you bust your ass off the clock to get where you wanna be on the clock.
Yeah. I agree. That's great.
Heard.
It's a good fucking feeling. Anywhere else? Anything else about age? What do you think the biggest, what do you think is too far of an age gap as far as
Over 10.
Relationship.
over 10? That's what I said.
I think 10's the biggest.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, I more or less say 6. I think anything over 6 is an anomaly.
I think 10 once you hit like 25. If you're 20 and you're dating a 30-year-old, that's a little questionable.
Yeah.
So 25 to 35 is good?
Yeah.
What about 24 to 34 is okay?
Yeah.
I think that's a lot. I think 10 is a lot.
10
Yeah.
is absolute
I think
max.
I think age doesn't matter when you hit your 30s.
Yeah.
And I think once you hit your 30s, everybody's at like a base maturity level
Yeah.
to be able to kind of date in any kind of
At
spectrum.
that
But
point,
I think
you're
in your
just looking
20s.
for a person to live your life with.
Yeah.
You think an age gap depends on like where you are in life though? Because I like Bobby Bones is the #1 radio host. He's like 40 something dating a 28-year-old. But he just got remarried like last year.
But he famous though.
And he's the #1 radio host in the world. So it's like a lot of people are looking at it like, oh, he can do that. It makes sense, right? But that's a fat ass gap. But nobody cares because it's
Wait,
Bobby
is
Bones.
his new wife 28?
She's like 28, 29. Yeah.
I didn't know she was that young.
She's young. Yeah.
I mean,
Like
whatever floats your boat, baby.
yeah.
You know
But
what
I feel like your stance,
it's just a number.
your stance in life and what you're doing at the time does play a big role. I mean, if you're older talking to somebody younger, if their priorities are not intact, I feel like that is going to weigh a big ton on you because you're already skeptical about the age, right? I'm skeptical about talking to somebody who's older,
Yeah.
right? That scares me. And I'm just like, what is going to happen when I get older, you know? And that person's older than me, you know?
Yeah.
You've dated somebody
Well,
older than
Nicole's
you?
30.
Yeah.
And I'm 24, so like that was a really big worry at first, and I was just like, oh my god, like this
Wait,
is
which
not
one's Nicole?
the Canada, the one from the show.
Oh, the one from the show.
And but going back to what you said
She's
about
30?
yeah,
Okay.
but going back to what you said about never asking age, we didn't talk about that until like episode 5, so we figured out each other's age, and we did not even talk about it. It was just straight vibes, just straight talking. And then I was like, dude, how old are you? She said 30. I was like, what?
Taken aback.
I was like, wait, what? 30? So I always thought she wasn't I always thought we were going to run into the issue because of that gap. And it's a 6-year gap. And I've never done that before in my life. All my exes have always been older, right? So I'm used to talking to an older woman. But 6 years, that's like, holy fuck. Like, are you sure? You want to talk to somebody who's 24? Like, are you sure? Right? But it comes down to, like you said, the maturity thing and showing that you're in a good space in life. If she was trying to talk to me and I didn't know what I was doing in my life and I was in Nashville partying at night after night after night, I'm sure she probably would have turned me away, right? But with your stance and what you're doing in life, when she sees that, hey, he has priorities, he's going after this, he's going after that, like the partying is okay because he's doing this, I think that's what sways people's decisions. And that's why I think I was bugged by people being like, oh, if you're younger, it's never going to work because you're younger.
Right.
I'm like, dude, you're discrediting all the other people that bust their ass for their age no matter what. And you're kind of discrediting them and throwing them to the side just because you think age is that big of a difference.
I think the consensus here is your maturity level. I think age in a relationship doesn't matter. I don't think age in your job doesn't matter. I think it's about the work that you put in and where you're at as a person dictates basically where you are at in life, whether it's your relationship, whether it's your friendship, whether,
And
it's your
also,
workplace.
last note too, on the perspective of the person. I'm just thinking of the person that's looking at you saying a woman wouldn't want to date you because you're 24.
Yeah, they're watching, so just
I think
take a
that,
shot.
I mean, that's not being mature,
yeah.
you know?
That's also that's a good point.
I think, like, who cares? If you're mature, you can deal with it if they're mature, you know? I think it really is a maturity thing.
Yeah.
100%.
That's all it comes down to.
I got a question since we're kind of wrapping this up. Do we have time for a make it make sense? Because I have a great one.
Yes.
What is it?
Oh, it's so I talked to you about this pre-show.
Okay.
So yeah, and she kind of alluded to it a little bit. So we went to Pittsburgh for the big Steelers Ravens game. I've always wanted to go to one, and it was awesome. But the night before the game, I just couldn't sleep the whole weekend, and I was up late at night every single night. It's like 3 a.m. and the code to the Airbnb, which has multiple rooms in it, and it's like a shared Airbnb, kind of like a hostel in Europe. So I kept hearing the pin, and it's the same pin that we have at our house to get in our door, and I'm hearing it, and it keeps turning over and turning over and turning over. And I'm like, who is trying to get in our house? And then I hear knocking, and then I hear the doorbell repeatedly going off. Then I hear banging on the door. And this is going on for like 10, 15 minutes. And I'm just like debating. I was like, all right, if this is somebody in our house, like, number one, they wouldn't be doing this because they know other people are like here sleeping.
Yeah.
And number two, like, you know, they would know the code because they've sent it to us.
Yeah.
Right.
So eventually this dude starts kicking in the door. Like kicking it in, like profusely,
I would have
shaking
been
the whole house,
freaking scared.
shaking the whole house. I wake up Shayna, and I'm like, hey, you need to calm down. Like when you wake up, because I know this is a really freaky situation, but I'm about to go down there and like check on this. So I go down there, and she's like waiting in the room, and I yell as loud as I can, and I was like, shut the F up, like as loud as I could. And I start storming down the steps, and this house has like some old steps. And I was like,
Are we good?
yo,
Oh. Go ahead.
what are you freaking out about? It's just,
Last time they had to stop.
you really interrupted
my
my story.
All right, go ahead.
So anyway, so I was like, shut the F up, storm down the steps. And they're like, yo, bro, it's cold out here, dude. And I'm like, I don't care, it's cold. Who are you? They're like, we're in the room. We're room B. I was like, then why don't you know how to get in here? I was like, if you're in this Airbnb, like, I was like, check the app. The code's in the app. And they're like, we know the code. The code's this. It's Marv that. And it's like, I should bleep her name out.
What is with the fucking voice?
And so I open the door, and sure enough, it's the Napoleon Dynamite looking kid that I saw in the hallway one of these days. And I was like, what? I was like, what is your all's effing problem, man? Like, why are you kicking in the door? I was like, do you not know this is somebody's private property? So this dude thought he had the audacity to kick in our Airbnb, scare the shit out of the neighbors, scare the shit out of everybody staying in the Airbnb, just because he thought he had the right to break the door down because you paid to stay there. Like, bro, like, get an Uber, go to a Waffle House, call the owner, get a Motel 6, get a refund for the night, like, do something, but don't fucking do that. And so they were like, so then like the girl would not shut up, bro. Like she was giving me all this sass and stuff like that. Like, well, what did you expect us to do? And I said, I expect you to shut up before I beat the shit out of your boyfriend. And that ended that, and they avoided us the rest of the time. And then the next day, I'm talking to the Airbnb owner, and like she gets her mom to come, and her mom like rips them a new one, blah blah blah, like all this stuff. They were arguing, and there was like, and the one thing they didn't do, this is why they couldn't get in, was because you know how on our code when you press the code and you got to wait a couple seconds.
Yeah.
They were so drunk they wouldn't even wait a couple seconds for it to unlock.
Ding dong.
Your food's here, brother. Go get it.
Well, what's the make it make sense part?
I know.
Make it make sense because
let me do make it make sense so I can tell my story. You bitch ass.
What are
Make it make sense,
what are we
Judy.
supposed to be? What are we supposed to be answering?
why would they do that?
Why would they do that?
They shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I mean that's the only answer. What are you supposed to say? No, he had complete right
No
to knock
grown
on his
adult should
Airbnb.
knock down the
But would you
door.
do that though?
No, absolutely not.
I feel like Rodney would think about it.
I wouldn't bang the door down. I probably would have just opened the damn door.
No, but like they genuinely
But they were
thought
if they were
thought
that drunk, then they were
they
drunk.
thought the code wouldn't work.
Yeah.
They thought they were like, the code is malfunctioning, man. Like they literally talk like, bro, I'm in a nervous. I was like, shut
I
up.
probably would have had a group of smart people with me. I think it would have been fun.
Alrighty, Junie.
That was-
Thanks for your.
Honestly,
making
you got to be
sense.
careful with something like that though, because some people might come to the door with a gun
That's what Junie
and
said.
be like, "Yo, you better chill the fuck
He's
out."
like,
for
you're
real."
lucky I didn't bring my gun to this place.
Well,
I would have
that's
had a gun to your
Bro,
head.
I would have. Shit,
It was,
I'm
dude,
scrawny.
If it
and
was shaking
small.
it was shaking the whole house. Like it was
I am-
shaking the house.
He shook the whole house.
Huh?
His small ass shook the whole house.
I guess it was a cheap house, man. I don't know what to tell you. These Airbnb people, they be building with that plywood, man, not the real shit.
What are you living in a shack? How did he shake the whole place?
Couldn't tell you.
How old were they?
But make that make sense. Oh, I don't know. I feel like they were like 20,
I
21.
think they were 30. Age is just a number. You never know.
It's just a personal thing.
It's not you. Well, thank you guys for tuning into episode 5 of Making Sense of Adulting, where we made sense of age. I think we did a good job.
Yeah, I did too.
That was really, really good. You gave me a good insight. And the people that are going to watch this, I can't wait because they're probably going to message me and message the group and be like, okay, I guess you're right. Blah, blah, blah. No, but they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. They're probably going to be like, okay, whatever, but this, blah, 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 whatever. Don't want to hear it. But episode 5, Making Sense of Adulting. Thank you guys for tuning in. 97 streams, guys. Go tell everyone to listen to this episode. We want 10,000 streams before the end of this month. We will be taking a break during the Christmas area.
Christmas and New Year's.
Christmas and New Year area, yeah, because we're going to go on vacation.
It's the
So
holiday season.
shut up. But tune into the next episode. We got not a surprise, but a sad surprise, but a very good, happy, sad surprise. I don't think it's a surprise, but just a new episode for you guys. It's your boy Radio Rod, Rodney Smith, signing out.
Audi.
Later.